Drew Jenkins had court today for the hearing for the child support that he's not paying for his oldest son, the son he had with Arlita, and Arlita gave us an update. Now, she was there virtually, and she said that he had the same clothes that he always has, the hoodie. It's like his uniform at this point. Now, remember, they've been saying, because Stephanie's been saying it too, that he has a part-time job. Apparently, when he was asked about it, he said he was waiting back to hear from Safeway. That's his old job. So when the judge asked him about it, it turns out that there's no job. The judge was really confused, and now Drew was very disrespectful. He's always been very disrespectful in court. But when it was Arlita's time to talk, she told the judge, like, with all due respect, you know, Drew's demeanor, like, everything is very disrespectful. You know, he's very disrespectful to everybody. He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about paying child support. He doesn't care about his son. You know, he's online saying that he doesn't want a job because he doesn't want people to tell him what to do.
The courtroom drama involving Stephanie Jenkins and her partner Drew Jenkins just turned the internet gossip mill upside down. What was supposed to be a standard child support hearing turned into a full-blown public reckoning, and Drew got caught in a web of his own lies. Drew showed up to the hearing with the same nonchalant energy he often brings to his live streams, but this time, it didn't fly. He walked in with his hood pulled low, barely making eye contact, and glued to his phone like the outcome of the case didn't matter. But what unfolded in that room had serious weight, and he wasn't ready for it. Ali, the mother of Drew's oldest son Anthony, didn't just come to witness, she came prepared. She had receipts, facts, and the confidence to speak up. When she respectfully asked the state attorney for permission to address the judge directly, she was granted the floor. And from that moment on, the mood shifted. Ali laid everything bare. She told the judge that Drew doesn't actually have a real job, despite what he's been boasting about online. In fact, the job he claimed to have simply doesn't exist. In court, he admitted he's just waiting to hear back from Safeway, his previous employer. That moment made it clear, when Drew said he had a steady job, he was lying. And the judge picked up on it instantly. Ali didn't hold back. She said it straight, Drew does not care about his son, and she wasn't speaking out of bitterness, she was pointing out a clear pattern. Drew has been avoiding child support responsibilities for over 10 years, and his attitude in court was just another piece of that puzzle. She reminded the court of the countless times Drew has gone live, telling his audience that he refuses to work because he doesn't like taking orders. He said it multiple times, that he quits jobs when customers are rude or when his managers irritate him. It's not about mental health, finances, or hardship. It's about control, and Drew's pride in not having a boss has now turned into a legal liability.
Hey y'all. So we know today's July 7th. And so it was the child support case day today. And there was a lot of people in the room. So he was one of 3 of the last people that were left in the room today. Sorry, I'm looking a mess. I was cleaning my house. And sorry, lost track. He was in the courtroom today and was called up, one of the last 3 people. And according to the person that he told he started a job, he said in the courtroom that he was waiting to hear back from Safeway. Since he said, and I guess this was posted because I'm blocked, because I called him out in that last video with Desiree and Deshaun's visit, so he blocked me. So anyways, I guess there was a post going around that he posted saying that he was going back to his old job. This is why you guys can't believe everything that you see that they post on the internet, because he does not have that job quite yet. Okay, so as the judge is like, okay, so you don't have it, you do have it. You told, I forgot the lady's name, but he told the lawyer that was speaking for him that he had that job. His whole demeanor in the courtroom was piss poor. And once I was able to get my microphone to work, because I was saying, Judge, I'm here. Can you hear me? Judge, can you hear me? And the state attorney judge was like, Ms. Bradwell said she was making an appearance. And then when I turned my camera on, I guess the judge saw that I was there and there was something going on with my microphone. Anyways, so we finally got it to work. And I stated to the judge, I said, Judge, not to be disrespectful to your court or anything like that, but his whole demeanor, his whole attitude into talking to you and speaking to you is rude and disrespectful to the courtroom. I said, he's been playing in people's faces for the last 13 years. He's been playing in the courtroom, in the courtroom system for the last 13 years. Oh my God. And, sorry y'all. I was like, what the fuck? Sorry y'all. Anyways, I was playing in the courtroom, people's face for the last 13 years. He does not care about Anthony. He does not care if he's making any payments. He's sitting up here boasting online saying that he doesn't feel like he needs to work for anybody because he doesn't want nobody telling him what to do. and he doesn't want to deal with rude customers. Mind you, the state attorney brought that up as well when I sent it to her, okay?
But what really shook things up was when the court watched one of his live streams, yes, actual footage played in court, where Drew and Stephanie faked a breakup for views and sympathy. The whole thing was staged, a calculated stunt to boost engagement. According to Ollie, this wasn't just internet drama, it was manipulation, and it showed exactly how far Drew will go to avoid real accountability. When questioned about his current employment, Drew said he was doing food delivery through apps like DoorDash and Instacart. He referred to it as gig work, hoping it would sound like legitimate employment. But when pressed for proof, payment history, bank statements, tax documents, he had absolutely nothing to show, no evidence that he was contributing financially to his child's life. And when asked how many payments he's made since he started this gig hustle, the answer was blunt, none. Not a single one.
All of it. Next court date will be August 4th. And he has to make a minimum payment. And I told her, I said, he's sitting up here boasting online as if he's paying anything, and he hasn't paid nothing. I can get on my child support case thing right now on the internet, and look, he ain't paid nothing. Nada. And he was supposed to pay for June and this month. Okay? Okay? So while he's out there talking about he's going to go do some deliveries, because that's what he was doing in the courtroom, was being rude and disrespectful on his phone with his hood up and that dirty hat on his head, the judge was not playing with him. There was 2-3 other people in there with a bench warrant today because she was not playing. Okay? They're trying to work with him. I get that. It's a new case. But at this point, and like the state lawyer said, it comes to a point. He's done told people certain things, and it's not adding up. Just like he got on his internet and y'all thought he got a motherfucking job and he ain't get shit. But y'all keep believing it though. That's what baffles me. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, okay? Everything he's done is on purpose. Just like those visits that are not happening. And trying to use the excuse that he watches his girlfriend's kids, y'all. Because he said that in the courtroom. Is the reason why he was not getting a job. Because he was helping his girlfriend watch her kids. For what? Because she don't work. You know what I'm saying? So the blatant lies. The lies. And then I'm the one that's the bad guy. And the mean one. If you don't like my tone, you can kiss my ass. I'm the most nicest person. I was very nice. Even before getting on here. Telling y'all who I was. Because, you know, the internet investigators would have found out anyway. So I came out here and spoke for myself. Because nobody's going to put a narrative on me, on my life, and what's going on.
Then came the next obvious question, if he's working, where's the money going? That's when things took an even more embarrassing turn. Drew said that Stephanie, his girlfriend, pays for everything. She covers the rent, buys the groceries, pays bills, and even supports Drew personally. So if she's the one carrying the financial weight, what is Drew doing with the money he claims to be earning? Again, he had no explanation. No receipts. No trail. Nothing. The silence that followed was loud. Drew didn't even attempt to come up with a story, he just stood there, avoiding eye contact, unable to justify his actions. It wasn't just uncomfortable. It was revealing. This wasn't a one-time issue, this was a pattern he's followed for years, hoping no one would confront him directly, but the judge did. She gave him a final deadline, August 1st. By then, he has to make at least the minimum child support payment or lose his driver's license, which he just recently got renewed. That was just the beginning. The judge also placed Drew on formal probation for 2 years. If he fails to meet the court's expectations, if he misses even a single payment, he's going straight to jail. No more warnings, no more wiggle room.
So the judge was really getting really upset with his demeanor. He really wasn't answering her questions. He was on his phone, being blameful, disrespectful, talking about, oh, I'm just getting deliveries. And then mind you, the state attorney was like, yeah, well, those deliveries will stop if you don't make a minimum payment sometime this week. And by August 1st, your license will be suspended again. I don't know what he's thinking, if he's above law, like me and my husband were talking about, because he was sitting next to me listening to this on the phone. He really thinks he's above law. And half of you people on this internet really thinking something's going to change. All I know is the judge said This will be the shortest ramification that she has ever done if he does not do what he's supposed to do. Okay? Let me dumb it down for some people, because I will get somebody in my comments acting completely stupid. What that means is he will go on probation possibly for 2 years, right? Which means they're really monitoring him, really monitoring him, right? If he does not make those payments, jail time. Don't get up in my comments arguing with me. I was in the courtroom. Were you? You weren't. Absolutely not. The judge agreed with me on everything. His demeanor, the way he's carried himself, the way he addressed her when she first called him up. All of it.
The latest court hearing involving Drew Jenkins wasn't just another routine session, it marked a serious shift, the kind that draws a line in the sand. This wasn't the judge issuing a warning or giving a gentle nudge. This was the moment where the court made it painfully clear, Drew has officially run out of second chances. From the minute he appeared on the virtual screen, Drew's behavior spoke volumes. He didn't bother to present himself respectfully. His hoodie was pulled up, cap low over his face, slouched in his chair like the entire process was beneath him. He looked disinterested, distracted, and careless, barely looking up when spoken to, barely offering complete sentences in response. If he thought the judge wouldn't notice, he was sorely mistaken. And she didn't let it slide. Clearly irritated, the judge addressed Drew directly and firmly, telling him not to come back to court with his phone on, and not to show up again in a hoodie and cap like he's lounging at home. If he wanted to be treated like an adult, he needed to start acting like one. This wasn't about court decorum, it was about showing up with even a shred of respect for the situation, the people involved, and most of all, his own child. Drew's attitude didn't surprise anyone who's been following his behavior online. He's been walking around with this inflated sense of confidence, like he's above rules and consequences, but the judge saw through the act and didn't hold back. She read him for exactly who he's become, a man who's gotten so comfortable performing for social media that he's forgotten how to be accountable in real life. Then came the part of the hearing that really made people shake their heads. When asked why he hadn't secured steady employment, Drew actually claimed that he's been too busy helping Stephanie, his girlfriend, take care of her kids. The irony? Stephanie doesn't work. She's at home all day. So what is there to help with? That excuse fell flat fast. The judge saw it for what it was, a weak, unbelievable attempt to justify a lack of effort. And if that wasn't enough, Drew had also been publicly claiming he landed a job recently, even telling people on social media that he got hired at Safeway. Stephanie backed it up in a live stream, saying they were finally making progress, that they'd have enough income to get out of the motel and start fresh. They painted a picture of stability, of finally getting things together. But in court, the truth came out, he never got the job. It was just another lie, another moment of online storytelling dressed up to win sympathy and boost views. None of it was real. Ali, the mother of Drew's son, didn't let that slide either. She reminded the court of another moment Drew tried to use for optics, when he brought Deshawn to see his biological mother, Desiree. On the surface, it looked like a heartfelt moment. But Ali made it clear, it wasn't a sincere effort to rebuild a relationship. It was a photo op. Drew filmed the entire thing like it was for an audience, not for Deshawn. And to top it off, he brought Stephanie's daughters along, turning a deeply personal visit into something performative. After that day, there was no follow-up, no effort to make it a regular thing, just more silence. Now, Drew has another court date set for July 17th, this time for a custody matter. And after everything that's come out, he's in a very bad position. With no real job, no child support payments, and a long list of failed promises, the court is quickly running out of patience. Let's be real, Drew Jenkins has been playing with fire for a while now, and it looks like the court is finally ready to let it burn. He's already been hit with multiple orders from the judge: get a real job, start supporting your child financially, and allow Deshawn's mother, Desiree, to see her son. But instead of taking those directives seriously, Drew's done what he always does, shrugged it off and done the bare minimum. Actually, less than the minimum. He hasn't followed through on anything. No job. No stable income. Not a single child support payment, and when it comes to visitation, The one time he finally allowed Desiree to see her son, he couldn't even handle that with any maturity. Instead of making it a meaningful one-on-one visit, he brought along Stephanie's daughters and turned the whole thing into a chaotic group event. What should have been a private and emotional moment became just another awkward, overexposed scene. Some believe it was staged purely for the camera, a photo op masked as progress. If that's the case, Drew isn't just falling short, he's actively using these kids and their lives as content. And that's exactly the kind of behavior that has the court fed up. The judge has already acknowledged that Desiree is the one following orders and trying to offer her son something steady. Meanwhile, Drew continues to treat legal obligations like optional tasks on his to-do list, if he even makes one. With another court date looming on July 17th, this time regarding custody, things aren't looking good for him. Because right now, Drew is acting like he's above it all. Like no matter how many deadlines he misses or how many rules he ignores, the court won't come down hard. But the reality is setting in. 2 separate cases. 2 children. And a growing list of ignored responsibilities. The system isn't blind to the pattern, he's been told exactly what's expected of him. Instead of listening, he keeps acting like the court is just another audience to charm. But this isn't TikTok. These are real lives, real consequences. And the countdown has already started. Whether it's August 1st, when he's expected to make his first actual child support payment, or July 17th, when the court has to decide who's fit to raise Deshawn, the window is closing fast. And this time, no half-hearted apology or last-minute excuse is going to soften the blow. Because this isn't about Drew anymore. It's about the kids. Anthony. Deshawn. Children caught in the middle of messy, unstable, online drama they didn't ask to be a part of. Kids who deserve a home, not a storyline. Peace, not chaos. A parent who shows up, not one who stages moments for sympathy clicks. At the end of the day, Drew Jenkins is still out here playing games. He's still pretending, still spinning stories, hoping the consequences will just keep getting pushed back. But they won't. The court is watching, and it's done waiting. Sooner or later, very likely sooner, he won't just lose likes or followers. He'll lose custody. Maybe even his freedom. So, what do you think? Is Drew just lost in his own lies, or is he and Stephanie still trying to fake their way through it all? And that's the latest, Drew's out of time, and the court isn't playing. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're here for the next update. See you soon.